everybody. Today's video format will be a little bit different. I just wanted to go over the topic of how not to get pulled over. You may have many different reasons for not wanting to get pulled over. Some could be not having a valid driver's license, like expired, suspended, etc. Another one could be that just you don't want to deal with it, or you could be drunk and you could be driving, which I really don't support. But let's go over a few things that you need to know in order not to get pulled over. First, the look of the car. Second, your look and your behavior. Let's go. Okay, first things first, your car should be in working condition and with no visible signs of any physical damage. Also, you have to make sure that your lights are operational, headlights, tail lights, brake lights. It's very important. That's the first sign of problem, and the police are looking for those things to pull people over. Second thing, if your state requires a front license plate, just go online, find a bracket that looks good, and just put the damn plate on, because that's a possible cause for being pulled over. Another thing you need to keep in check is the windows. Now, don't have tinted windows because those are a good cause for you to get pulled over. Another thing, do not blast the music inside the car. Make sure you're visible inside the car and always wear the damn seatbelt. Another thing, besides not having tinted windows and not blasting the music, wearing your seatbelt, would be not to have an obnoxiously big wing or body kit for that matter. Keep your car as stock as possible, keep it as clean as possible, and make sure you dress appropriately without attracting attention. I would recommend a button-down shirt every time you're going out for a drive. According to me, regardless what people say, what kind of car you're driving matters for whether or not you're gonna get pulled over. Now, not all of us can afford a brand new car, so if you want to do like me, just go for a nice cheap option, like a nice old German saloon, which is extremely reliable and it does the job, and that is probably the most unsuspicious car on the road. So now you're in your car, you're plainly dressed, you always have your seatbelt on. There's a few things you should do that can help you not to ever get pulled over. First thing, you never use this while you're driving. People can see inside the car, and people know if you're distracted and you're looking down or you're looking up or you're looking anywhere, you're looking at your phone, and there we go, you're gonna get pulled over. Another thing you shouldn't do is make a right turn on red when it says no red turn on red. Everybody knows that, but you'll be surprised how many people do it. And please, do never run a stop sign. It doesn't matter, especially in the late evening, especially in the early morning when there's nobody around. Just stop on the damn stop. Somebody could be looking from afar, see you roll the stop sign, and you're gonna get pulled over. On that note, if you don't want to get pulled over, do not drive in the rural areas in the early AM hours, because you are the only car on the road other than the taxis and the police, and guess who's gonna get pulled over? I don't think it's gonna be a taxi. Also, if you don't want to get checked, do not stop on the side of the road to have a chat with your girlfriend. You can do that on a parking lot somewhere where there are other cars, and you could be on the side and nobody's gonna care about you. But if you're on the road, pulled over, and doing whatever you're doing, you'll be the first person to get checked. While you're driving on the road, please make sure you know where you're going. Confident driving gets less noticed than the police, than people who don't know what they're doing, weaving into lanes and getting the exit in the last moment. Know where you are, get in the right lane, and do whatever you can to stay on course. Police can tolerate speeding if you're keeping up with traffic. 10 over the limit is not a big deal, just don't weave into traffic. Nobody likes sudden movements. And if you're going fast but smooth, people tend to get less attention than if you're going left and right in the lines, even if you're obeying the speed limit. That's called reckless driving, and you should stay away from doing it because that's a clear sign that you're doing something wrong and you'll get pulled over. So even if you're in a rush and you have to speed, just do it smoothly, and chances are you're gonna get away with it. Now it happens, but if you do get pulled over, like I did for the last 6 years, twice. Once was I was driving in the AM hours, and second time I was driving without my lights on at night. I pulled over, I shut them off, and then when I pulled out of the parking spot, I forgot to turn them on. So if you have a modern car and you can leave them on auto, the lights, just do so. Modern cars are pretty good at keeping up with the light on the outside. So if you do get pulled over, always give the signal, pull over to the side or wait for the instruction for the police officer. Put your hazards on. Roll down all your windows like so. Take the key off ignition and place it on the dashboard. Now, important thing to do when you get pulled over is to make sure your hands are always visible at all times. It's good to keep them on the steering wheel or crossed, but please make sure that they're visible for the police officer. Like this, they feel safe and secure. And please be polite, because there is nothing wrong than a person who's wrong and being rude in the same time. So if you're respectful to the police officer, you have a better chance of being let go with just a courtesy warning and not getting a ticket. Another thing you should be able to have ready is your documents. Just have your registration, your insurance, and your driver's license, being valid or not, ready at all times. And don't forget, even though you see all those viral videos of cop violence, not all cops are bad, and most of them are human beings. If they don't feel threatened and they feel respected, they are most likely to let you go without any consequences. Please be respectful. They're only there to do their job, and they're looking for the signs that I mentioned earlier for them to pull you over. Don't do them and you'll be alright. And again, have a great day.